Today's a very special video. I'm gonna be ranking your main or just every brawler based on cringe. How cringe are they to play? How cringe are the people who play them? Stuff like that. It should be interesting. And you know what's really cringe? The fact that like half of you watching this right now are not subscribed. If you don't want to be cringe, then scroll down, subscribe. Thank you very much. We're trying to hit 1 million. The tiers we have are very simple. Super cringe, cringe, can be cringe, not so cringe, and zero cringe. First, we have 8-bit. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think 8-bit is that cringe. He's either gonna be in not so cringe or zero cringe, but I don't see much cringe about 8-bit. He's a very basic brawler. Moving on, we have Amber, and I think she's cringe. She's not super cringe. That is reserved for certain brawlers. The playstyle of Amber is cringe. You walk at somebody and hold auto aim. Fan base wise, I don't think she's that cringe. And now we have Ash. I don't think he's very cringe. I don't see much about him in general. He's kind of tough to beat sometimes, but that doesn't make him very cringe. And Barley, he can be cringe in duels in certain maps where you can't do anything. Seeing him is kind of annoying. I'll put him in not so cringe because duels is like one mode. That doesn't really matter. I haven't seen too much cringe about B, but the way she plays sometimes is pretty lame. So I'm gonna put her in can be cringe or cringe, but for now I'll just put her in can be. Belle is not too bad. I don't see much about her. I don't think her playstyle is that annoying or anything. I'll just put her in not so cringe. BB, honestly, she's one of my favorite brawlers, but I think she can be pretty cringe. But with the fact that she's just like invincible in certain matchups with her shield and her gadget that heals her, it's kind of cringe sometimes. I'm gonna be honest, it's really annoying to fight, and the way people play her, I don't like it. All right, I don't know about you, but there's nothing quite so annoying as getting jumped on by Bonnie. So I either want to put her in cringe or can be cringe, one of those two. If you couldn't tell, this is kind of a list based on how annoying they are, but there are other aspects that make a brawler cringe, which we'll get to later once we start seeing them. For now, I'll put Bonnie in can be cringe. I could move her up and down. And Bo, I'm gonna put him in cringe just because he is the Power League brawler. Everybody and their mother mains Bo in Power League. You will see him every single game if he isn't banned. So for that fact, he's pretty cringe. You see him everywhere. Brock is I don't think he really has any cringe stuff. Like, he's not very annoying, and I don't see anything online about him being super cringy, so I'll put him in 0. And Bull, he can be cringe. The way some people play him, it can be a little sweaty. Like, it can be kind of annoying. Buster, this one's gotta be up here. One of these two, cringe or can be cringe. This is one of those brawlers where when he's good, everybody's playing him. When he's bad, everyone drops him. And the thing that always makes Buster good is his pull gadget that slows you. Except I think they removed the slow, but still. That is like one of the things that makes him broken, and it's really annoying. It's kind of cringe to see, so I'm gonna put him up there. Now we gotta start thinking. Solo showdown, teaming, how do people play Buzz in different modes and stuff? Is he cringe in that aspect? I think so. So I think he's either gonna be in cringe or can be cringe, but for the fact that you don't really see him in the showdown anymore, I'm gonna put him in can be, because that was the main thing that made him super cringe. Now Charlie. We got our first super cringe. Not only is her playstyle extremely annoying, but the stuff you might see online about Charlie is not ideal. So she's gonna be up there. The only thing cringy about Byron is when teammates purposely dodge your attacks. You waste so much, so that can be cringe, but it's kind of the other people doing that, so I'll put him in not so cringe. He's not too bad. I think Carl's flying hook super combo is kind of cringe because it's really easy to do. Besides that though, there's not really too much. I don't see anything crazy about him online. The only stuff I do see is kind of funny, so I'll put him in not so cringe. Chester is another one that could be in super cringe because of the internet, but I'll put him in cringe for now. The community doesn't do any weird stuff with Chuck, but I'm gonna put him in super cringe because I think his playstyle is so unbelievably lame. His entire idea is pressing the super button 2 times, rinse and repeat. There's nothing else to his kit. We got Colette, super cringe. The stuff you might see on the subreddit is wild with Colette. Playstyle wise, Colette's not too bad. The internet has ruined her though. Colt is not very cringe. He's very straightforward to play. I don't see any people being weird about him online. I'm gonna put him in 0 cringe. Now Cordelius. He's a teamer in Solo Showdown. His super is really annoying to deal with. He stole Otis's super as a gadget, and he's just overall broken. So I'm gonna put him in cringe because of his playstyle being really cringe and annoying, and that's about it. All right, my boy Crow is not gonna be in 0 cringe. I'm sorry. I have to do this to you. I think I'm gonna put him in can be cringe or cringe because his playstyle is really annoying, and that's about it. So I'll put him here for now, maybe a bit higher up. So I used to get really annoyed by Daryl, but I don't think he's too bad anymore. So I'll put him in not so cringe. I'm gonna put Doug in cringe just because it's really bad to see him picked in any match. He's so bad that it's cringy, bro. Like, just seeing him, you're like, oh no, we lose or we win depending on what team has him. It's pretty bad. He's such a bad brawler. I think Dynamite could be in can be cringe because of like the stun, and when people are just trying way too hard with him, it could be a little like, ooh, why are you doing that? Besides that though, he's not too bad. So I could put him in not so cringe or the bottom of can be cringe, either or, whatever. Now Edgar, I'm sorry. He's going up in super cringe. It's literally these two that everybody's obsessed with. It's so weird. Not only that, it's Edgar. We all know his playstyle. Now we got El Primo, my boy. He's going in zero cringe. He's the polar opposite of Edgar, even though their kits are the same. Depending on where you see Ems, she can actually be incredibly annoying. Not only that, but there is a little bit of weird stuff about her on like the Reddit and whatnot. So I'll put her in can be cringe, like near Crow, because she has a playstyle that's kind of annoying to deal with. But she's not terrible. Eve is a brawler where if I was given the option to delete one character from this game, it might just be her. I don't like her playstyle at all. I think it's kind of weird, and I just think that she's really cringe. Like, whenever I see an Eve, I'm just like thinking, no, please, like, don't do this to me. I don't like fighting her. I think she's really lame to fight. All right, we got Fang, and I'm gonna be honest, there isn't much bad stuff about him in the community, but his playstyle is wild right now. He's been so broken for a few months, and he hasn't copped any big nerfs, which is kind of wild to me. The thing that makes Fang cringe is people posting clips of them getting team wipes and be like, guys, look, I'm so good. When all they did was press 2 buttons and Fang just goes in and automatically kills the entire enemy team. You can consistently do it. It's broken. You just need the right time and the right place to make it happen. The only thing that's kind of cringe about Frank is the fact that he's so terrible, which is kind of similar to Doug, but it's almost worse in a way because he has a delay in his attack and it can be canceled super easily. It just makes it so bad to see certain brawlers completely hard counter Frank. But since it's a little bit different than Doug, and in other ways Frank isn't very cringe, I'm gonna put him like right here. He's not so bad. And I could even move Doug down here. Gale deserves to be in cringe. And when Gale is a meta brawler, he would go all the way up here just because of his playstyle. When Gale is in every single match, you can't play any assassin, you can't play any tank because he completely counters them with his tornado and his super. Very broken, very annoying, and very cringe when he's good brawler. I think Gene isn't too bad. There's nothing really crazy about him. The only thing that can be cringe is his super when somebody does not miss, I guess. Or it can be cringe when people do miss. Other than that, I don't think it's so bad, so I'll put him down here with zero cringe for the most part, or I could put him like right here, I guess. The thing that's a little bit wonky about Gray in my opinion is the fact that every single Gray player I see in this game has the exact same playstyle, and that could just be because he has the one good playstyle, but when he supers on you, it can be kind of annoying. Now Griff is one of those brawlers where people will only main him and only play him when he's in meta. I'm gonna be honest, fighting a Grom, it can be a little annoying. It can be a little cringe when he's just trying to do some mathematics to hit you with those shots. He definitely can be. My boy Gus, nothing too crazy. Could even consider putting him in zero cringe. I mean, he's a pretty balanced brawler. I would hope and pray that nothing crazy about him is online. I'm gonna put him in zero cringe. And Hank, I'm putting Hank in super cringe because he's so bad. But when he works too well. He either sucks or he one-shots you. And I think that's cringe. I think his entire existence in this game is cringe. There's no way he would ever fit in this game. He's a brawler who should never be good because when he is good, he ruins the meta. I'm not gonna lie, Jackie is a brawler. When I see her in the loading screen, I think like, oh boy, this match is not gonna be very fun because her whole game plan is just to get up to you and mash that auto aim button. And Counter Crush can do a better job at playing the game than she can. So I'll put her in can be cringe. We got Janet, another one that the community has absolutely soiled. I'm not gonna lie, Jessie isn't really cringe. I don't see anything too bad about her or too annoying. So I'm gonna put her in zero cringe. Now we got Kit. I feel like if Kit wasn't broken on release, not that many people would have a problem with him. But the fact that he was broken brings him like all the way up here. And now that he sucks, I think he's down here. I'm seeing a lot of people say he's like B tier now. So I'll put him in can be cringe because you can still jump on a teammate like a Rosa and just let her win for free. But if you're not doing that, then it's not that bad. Larry and Lori. So I've been avoiding some stuff about Larry and Lori on the internet. I've been hearing about it. I've never seen any of it. But I've been hearing that there's some pretty bad stuff about them. So I might put them in super cringe right right off the bat, but I'll just put him here for now. Give him the benefit of the doubt. We got Leon. Is he really cringe? I mean, sometimes he can be kind of annoying. Like when he comes out of nowhere and you just die, especially in Showdown when there's nothing you can do about it. You have no idea he's coming. You have no escape options. It can be kind of cringe because you're like, wow, this is the game that I'm playing. Some brawlers who don't let you play the game can be kind of cringe. Other than that, not too bad. Now we have Lola, and I don't think there's really much about her. For some reason, I don't want to put her in zero cringe. I don't think she really meshes with these brawlers down here. So let's move her up to the bottom of not so cringe. I can't put my finger on it, but something is up with her. I would absolutely love to put Lou down here because I was a connoisseur for Lou since the very beginning when he was really bad. And then he became overpowered with Hypercharge, and that made him go up in the cringe list a lot because he's really annoying to fight sometimes. For the most part, though, I don't want to put him anywhere higher than can be cringe because he's my boy. Maisie can be a pretty cringe brawler. Not about anything in like the Brawl Stars Reddit or stuff like that. No, it's just the fact that she gets her super in 3 hits and she can chain it over and over and over and over again. And it's so broken, super annoying to fight. So I'll put her in cringe. Although it is fun to play because of how absurdly broken it is, it's still cringe because people really think they're doing something when they just mash the super button. There's one thing that makes Mandy really cringe. It is when she blindly supers at the start of a game and kills 2 people right off the bat. You don't have enough time to react to it, and sometimes if you're playing a squishy brawler, you will just die. And I find that really lame. I don't think Max is too bad. Some people sweat with her way too much, which can be a little cringy, but other than that, I don't think she's very cringe. So we'll put her in not so cringe. Now we have Meg, and there's a couple cringy things about her. Then there was that whole discussion about her apparently being in her 20s when she has the same model as Jessie, who is an 8-year-old. So I'm just gonna keep Meg up here. Miko can be very fun to play. He's like the new Mortis, but he's also extremely cringe with his playstyle. They need to give his shots a little bit of delay or something because most brawlers cannot fight back against Miko. Now we have Mortis. The only cringe thing with Mortis is when you have a random Mortis who absolutely sucks, especially in Brawl Ball when they try to score. So as much as I want to put Mortis in zero cringe, I have to put him in can be cringe. Now Mr. P is a brawler who just relies on summons. And in a game like this, it's not very fun because he can hard counter so many brawlers with his porters, and I don't find it to be the most fun thing in the world to fight. Nani, honestly, could go in zero cringe. The only thing is the cheese strategies that keep showing up with Nani. That's a little cringe when people spam it. So I'll put Nani in not so cringe, especially because those strategies don't really show up anymore. Nita. I don't really know anything very cringe about Nita, so I might put her in zero. The only thing that could be considered cringy about a is when he supers you and then spins because he knows that there's nothing that you can do about it. That's about it. He's a really basic brawler. He has a very tight-knit community, and I don't think he's very cringe, so we'll put him in not so cringe. I'm gonna give Pam zero cringe. I don't see anything too crazy about her. I think the only kind of annoying thing is when her healing turret feels like it lives forever and she gets so much healing off it, or when she hits you with the ammo steal gadget. That can be a little annoying, but I don't know if it's enough to push her into not so cringe. I don't know if Pearl is exactly cringe, but she is kind of boring, so I'll just put her right there. I don't have much to say about Pearl. Penny as well. I mean, her mortar can be kind of cringe. I'll just put her in not so cringe because I don't exactly know where to put her. And Piper. There's one thing that makes me not want to put her here, and it's her homemade recipe gadget. It is so annoying when you get hit once and then suddenly you're dead because of that gadget. It's such a free kill. So because of that, I'm going to put her right here. Other than that, she's not too bad though. Poco, he's my boy. He's got to go in zero cringe. There's nothing bad about Poco. He's a living legend. RT has a playstyle that I do not particularly enjoy playing or playing against, but all things considered, he's not too bad. Now we have Rico. The only thing that can be cringe about him is when people are trying way too hard. They find a perfect spot and they hold it for the entire game. That can be kind of cringe. So I'm going to put him in can be cringe. Now Rosa. I'm putting her straight up in cringe because when she's good, she just cheeses the game and never dies. Bruno Ruffs is not a very cringy brawler. I can't think of a single thing. Pretty balanced. He buffs his team. That's about it. So now we got Sam. I think he has one of the most cringe play styles in the game. Anytime I see a Sam and I see them immediately dash straight in, I already know they're going to be annoying to fight. But if they're on my team, great. And Sam is kind of an underdog when it comes to BMing. Normally it's Edgar who gets all the bad rep for being a bad manners brawler, but Sam is up there with Edgar. The Sam players get toxic. I can't think of many bad things about Sandy other than the fact that his kit can be a little bit annoying annoying. The only thing that can feel a little cringe when you're fighting a Sandy is when he hits you behind a wall when he has no reason to be hitting you. All things considered, let's put him in not so cringe. And Shelly, I can't think of much about her. I don't know if the internet has ruined her or not. I'm gonna put her in 0 cringe. I don't see much bad things about her. Besides clay pigeons and the slow star power. That could be a little bad. The only cringe thing about Spike is curveball, and it makes me want to put him all the way up here because some people just throw shots into the stratosphere and they can still hit you because of how much area that covers. For that reason, Spike can be a little cringe. Sprout. Not inherently cringe, but when he cheeses people with a wall, it can get old pretty fast. I'll put him right next to Spike. They're both really cute brawlers, but the players can ruin them. Now Squeak. Another kind of cute brawler that just gets absolutely ruined. I think that Squeak's playstyle is really annoying, especially with the gadgets. Stu is interesting because when a player is like an average guy just playing the game, he's not too bad to fight. But when somebody is trying their heart out with 0 ping, living in a perfect place in the world to get those amazing servers, it can be really cringe to fight. You could tell that there's like super. Surge players can be toxic, which is kind of cringe. So for that reason, I'll put him up here and can be cringe. Tara's shadows can be kind of cringe. Her super can also be a little annoying, but it's just how she is. So I'll put her in not so cringe because it's not that bad. And I'm sorry, Nat, but I kind of want to put Tick all the way up here. He's one of those brawlers that nobody likes fighting. Nothing about this brawler is enjoyable unless you're the one playing him. Moving on to the final brawler, we have Willow, and the only annoying or cringe thing about her is her super, but even then, it's not that bad. And now you can look at the full list. There it is. Enjoy the cringe tier list. Some things definitely could move up and down. And that being said, I'll see you later. Goodbye.